Hello and welcome to a visit with Nana and Papa. I'm Nana or Valerie
I'm Papa.
or Jim.
I'm Papa.
That's weird. I never call you Jim.
No,
Anyway,
you don't.
for me he's James.
Unless I'm in trouble and it's James Leroy.
It is currently July 2nd, 2023.
Yeah.
And it is almost Independence Day or 4th of July, and I have zero desire to celebrate. But we're going to try and keep this positive as much as possible today.
Well, we haven't really celebrated since we left Wyoming because, we used to do a 4th of July celebration out at Alcova at a beautiful friend of ours, Chuck Higgins' place. And it went on for
Yeah, but I couldn't go
20 years.
today. Even if we were still there and it was still happening, I couldn't do it.
And we'd
Anyway.
go out and Chuck would roast a pig for anybody that showed up, and you brought sides or desserts or whatever, and just it was a big party. And I would play guitar, and my friend Chuck, Steve, and Les, and Toby would play guitar. Now, the very first year that we did this, it was just me playing guitar. The second year that we did it, it was me and Les. And the third year, it was me and Les and Steve. And then Toby started playing guitar, and after a while, Toby started sitting in with us. And
A couple times Eli did too.
yep. Sometimes we'd have some young kids that would bring a guitar and jump in there with us where they could. And it was always good to get a second generation, third generation going on this. But that is beyond us now. The only ones left alive are me and Toby. And Toby, my buddy, is in Hawaii. And he's happy about that, which tells me that Toby hit his head. Because I was stationed in Hawaii for 4 years in the Navy, and they don't like you in Hawaii. As soon as they figure out you're not a tourist, you're not popular anymore. But anyway, enough of that. We got invited to go watch our granddaughters perform a pep rally, a pep show, pep squad show on Thursday, and it was part of their school that they go to. It was the end of school, and the last week of school was Vacation Bible School, and Thursday was their last day, and they got to show what they learned in Pep Squad. And they had their little cheerleading uniforms, and they were absolutely adorable. And then we got to have them come over and spend the day with us on Friday. And we had a really good day playing with paper airplanes and watching part of Frozen 2, and just having a good time playing. Playing is important, especially if you're 5 and 7. Playing is important.
It is.
Now, Yarny
stuff. Well, I don't have a whole lot. I have more about what's not going well than what's going well, but
this has been a struggle week for Nana.
this is still going. I don't know if y'all have seen it recent, but I do have, I'll try and get closer so you can see, I have started my ribbing. I need to do 4.5 inches of ribbing. It takes me about 45 minutes to complete a round. Part of that is because I always fall asleep mid-round. And part of it is just doing ribbing on a US 0 for this many stitches. Kind of like doing 5 pairs of socks at the same time, I think, maybe. I don't know. But it's a lot. But we are persevering, and we will eventually finish that. But I don't, I just do what I can, and then when my hand starts hurting, I stop. Or if I fall asleep, I stop. And usually I have to rip out because I fell asleep and was sleep knitting and not accomplishing what I was supposed to. But knitting weird stitches. So that's where that is. The only success I've had this week is on my Lento. And my Lento, hey, yay, this is really good color. That is what it looks like in real life. I am very, very happy with how it looks. It's not over the top, in your face rainbow, but it's rainbow with being, without being loudly rainbow. And it's just really soft and comfy, and I know it's going to be super warm. So
that really soft is all that itchy merino that's in there.
There's no itchy merino.
Okay, what's this?
That's mohair.
Itchy mohair, not merino. I love mohair. I love merino. She loves mohair, but then
you like mohair too, because you come up and you'll go.
Yeah, it's soft.
That's soft.
It's soft. I like it.
It gets itchy in the heat. I do not recommend checking mohair to see if it's comfortable over 70 degrees. It's just not, or definitely not over 90. Because if it's over 90 and you're wearing mohair outside in the heat, it will be pokey. It will be prickly. No matter how...
I think it's just your skin is a lot more sensitive at 90 degrees because you're sweating and everything's opened up and you feel it more.
I don't know, maybe, but
because I don't think the mohair changed any.
Maybe not, but I'm just saying that I don't feel any discomfort or irritation when it's cooler temperatures. But if I were to go outside right now with this on, I would be very uncomfortable. And I would be very dying in heat because this is super warm. Even though it's short sleeve, it is mohair held with fingering weight yarn, and it is mohair makes it really warm.
Hey, it's only 91 degrees right now.
It's scary. It's nice and cool.
It's brisk.
I did split for sleeves this morning, and if you follow Laura Nelkin, go watch her latest video. If you don't follow Laura Nelkin, down below will be the link to Laura Nelkin. But she posted, for me, mind-blowing, project-changing tutorial on a provisional cast-on. And from now on, all of my stitches under the arm, for the sleeve, will all be provisionally cast on using her method every single time, period. Because just the amount of time that saves doing it her way is crazy making.
Now see, this is what she got in there to take the place of the needle so that she can keep using the needle and bind this off. This is called baker cord, but this is not baker cord. This is quasi baker cord. And you can get this quasi-baker cord on Amazon. And baker cord, you can pay like, it's about $7 a foot, 3 foot.
Are you talking about barber cords?
Barber cord, that's it. Barber cord. Baker cord, barber cord. It's all cord.
It's a barber cord.
Barber cord. Now, you can pay $7 a thing, a 30-inch little strip of that goober. Is $7, pretty much anywhere you go. Or you can take your $7, add somewhere between 4 and 3, and go to Amazon and get 54 yards of it.
Anyway,
if you're going to do a lot of stuff like she does, I'm ordering her the industrial size 54 yard barber cord. It even says on Amazon, can be used in place of barber cord. So $3 a yard, $7 a yard, or $11 for 54 yards. Your choice.
So just so you know, the Lento, I'm using Knit Picks Chroma Black held with Leading Man Fiber Arts Jupiter Recognize. in their Mohair silk, and I'm very, very, very happy with it.
That's not the boys, is it?
No, but they are boys.
Well, yeah.
But no, Leading Men Fiber Arts is from Illinois.
Oh.
Who I call the boys are Needles at the Ready, who we watched last night.
That's what I was thinking.
If you haven't watched their tasting, well, if you're not into tasting, don't watch it. But if you want to laugh, it's a really good laugh.
Whether you're into tastings or not, the boys are rather humorous, just being the boys. So, Needles at the Ready, they just did a live tasting last night. Now it's probably a recorded tasting, I'm sure. But you can go and see their reactions to surprise boxes that they buy online from different places in the world. And yesterday's place was Croatia.
So what it is it's this company that does subscriptions in their mystery boxes, and you can get a box of 5 or a box of 10, and you get these mystery box, but you have no idea what country it's coming from until you open the box, and you have no idea what's going to be in it. And I have to tell you, their first tasting, it was very important that I had peed before I started watching, because when they took a bite of some kind of fish flavored something or other from, I don't know if it was Thailand or if it was, but it was somewhere over there, and it was a snacky cracker thing. The look on the two of them's face was I was dying so hard. It was so good.
Now,
anyway.
If you are offended by the occasional bad word, like me, I use bad words a lot.
Yeah, this is a sweary friendly. Anyway.
Yeah, they will use the word frequently.
And the F-bomb flew last night, which they don't normally do, but the F-bomb really flew last night.
Yeah, they got something that looked like it was a turd. That's what they called it. And then when they ate it, one guy said it is, and the other, oh, this is delicious. No, it's not. Yes, it is. This is delicious. And then after the aftertaste setting, he's like, maybe it is shit.
It's funny though. It was hilarious. So anyway,
give them a check out. They're funny.
They're funny. Otherwise, knitting, crocheting. I did do a little bit on the crochet project, and I'm also knitting on my shawl, but there's really, it doesn't look any different than it did the last time you seen it. It just has another inch of knitting on it, so there's really not that exciting to show the difference.
And the death of a knit project. Oh, no,
that's coming. I was talking in successes.
Oh.
Those.
Jump on the successes while they're there.
Now, here, you can hold your hand out. No, down below.
Well, I'm harvesting stitch markers here.
Yep, you're going to harvest stitch markers. Anyway, I was knitting on this yesterday, and I was knitting, and then all of a sudden I realized, what are you doing? What are you doing? I absolutely 100% detest the color combination that I have come up with here. And that's not anybody's fault but my own. But I don't like it. It's not...
Uh-oh.
It's okay. I'll find them.
You drug off your thing.
I'll find it.
It's still hanging.
I know. I'll find it. It's good. So, I am, while we're speaking, I'm taking the needles out.
Is she going to frog it?
I'm not going to frog it on air, but I'm just going to, it's going to be
easier. Somebody might enjoy watching somebody else frog.
Well, probably not. They just feel bad. It might actually give some people heart palpitations or something. But,
is that why you give them to me to frog?
Sometimes, yes. So, it's not, I didn't get very far. It's not that big a deal. But then there might be somebody out there that's going, what is wrong with you? That is just beautiful colors. But for me, there's nothing in this that is joyful for me. I love this color right here. And I like the orange with that color, and I like the brown with that color, but I don't like the orange with the brown. I absolutely can't stand this yellow in here. And when I look at all of it together, there's no way in the world I'm wearing that.
Look at this. Look at this harvesting of stitch markers that she's got.
That's because they're required for every repeat.
But do you remember who gave you this one?
I don't remember the shop, but I can link it down below.
They have a
podcast too. I can link their podcast too.
If you need stitch markers, it's lightweight, but this one happens to be a little leprechaun. She has lots of them. They do all kinds of
I
funky
prefer
stuff.
You can get all kinds of different stitch markers out there, progress keepers, all kinds of stuff. But I prefer these that have the clasp that opens and closes for my progress keepers, and I want them to be beaded. And the reason is this is super lightweight. When you add something that is a design or something hanging down that has weight, it'll pull your stitches down with it, and I don't like that.
Where do you want these to go?
You can just put it there for now, or wherever you want to put it for now. I don't have anywhere to put it at the moment. So this is going to get all ripped out because we are not finishing it. I'm not going to knit it. I'm just going to rip it out. I will not be re-knitting it. I don't know if I'll redo that pattern and maybe make that pattern. It could happen. It won't be anytime soon. Because I'm really not enjoying the way that the pattern goes either. I think maybe if I did just 2 colors, but I don't know that you could do 2 colors because it might have issues doing 2 colors. But it's meant to be used with spin cycle. I have 1 skein of spin cycle, but I don't have enough for the sweater in my size. And I'm trying really hard not to buy yarn. I'm not succeeding all the time, but I'm trying very hard not to spend money, not to buy yarn. And I definitely have no desire to spend $36 on a half a skein of yarn, basically, because it's 200 yards, but it's less than around 50 grams, 55 grams versus 100 grams, and it's 32 or 36 bucks, and that's just not something I want to do. The only reason I have the skein I do have is it was a gift. So anyway, I'm done with it. So do you want to talk about your movies before we get into wanting assistance?
I did no movies. I was going to try and do movies, but my health was not capable of doing movies.
You didn't watch
week.
Any movies on TV either?
No.
Or stream them?
The only thing we watched this week at all was Star Trek Discovery.
You didn't stream while I was working at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was reading. But what I did, I streamed half of Frozen.
Yeah, well, that's different.
That was not my first choice, but Aria wanted to see Frozen 2, so we watched Frozen 2. That was good.
Okay. Books?
The only 2 books I read this week were by Seber Bronny. Mm-hmm. And I got introduced to Seber Bronny a good while back with his first series that I read was the Arinthian Line. It was supposed to be the Arinthian Line trilogy. The trilogy turned into 5 books. And he didn't even finish the story with those 5 books, but he finished part of the story with those 5 books. And then there was a follow-up to those 5 books with another 4 books. That was also a trilogy because Sever can't count to 3. But that one was The Fury of Rising Dragon. All of his books are long, but you don't mind that because they're very good. They're very engaging books. But if you look at your book and you say, oh, I'm at 85%, I'll just stay up and finish this. realize that 85% of a 1,000-page book means there's 15% left, and 15% is 150 pages. If you think you're going to knock out those 150 pages in 45 minutes so you can go to bed, you are wrong. Unless you're doing Evelyn Wood speed reading, and nobody even knows what Evelyn Wood speed reading is, so that would give you something to Google, because it was a thing once upon a time. But what I'm reading right now are the Chronicles of Anna Atticus Stone. And Anna Atticus Stone is the grandmother of the main character in the other books. And she's in the other books, but in the other books, she's like 90 years old. This is covering her childhood and her teenage years. And the next book in the series, which will be out in December, will be basically her tweens, her 20-somethings. Everybody uses tweens wrong. Tweens was originally created by Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien. And he called hobbits that were between the age of 20 and 30 tweens. They were tweenagers because they were no longer teenagers, but they weren't adults yet either.
I call them tweenagers.
That's what Tolkien called them. People now call 12-year-olds tweens because they're 12 teens. Well, no, they're not. They're 12.
Anyway,
if you want to check these books out, start out with the first series so that you actually know what's going on.
Which is?
I'll
put in the link.
The Arinthian line. That's right. The Arinthian line.
First in the link, and then I'll put current reading in the link.
And as always, because you can go into Amazon and ask them to send you a sample, and they'll send you the first chapter or part of the first chapter just so you can read it and see if you like the way that this guy writes and if it's engaging.
Have you checked to see if they're available on Libby?
I have not.
Okay. We'll look before, and if there is, I'll share a Libby link. Was there any more books?
Nope, that's all the books.
Okay.
But there's only two books, and it took me all week to read two books because they're
really long.
850 pages long.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for y'all's help because I really want to make a sweater. The Lento I'm loving. It's going to keep going. We're good. I want advice. And so I have pulled up some patterns and I have some yarns to look at. So the first pattern is Tiffany Lynn because I can cast this on and still be in the Black Knitters Juneteenth make-along. If I cast on today, I would still qualify, and you can never, ever, ever go wrong with Tiffany Lynn patterns. And this has 3 colors, or 4 colors. Anyway, I'm never good at following exact details, but this is a striped tee. And so I was thinking these 4 colors. So the main color, the bright happy color, is going to be the purple. This will be the bigger stripes in the where the green is in hers, and then this will be where the white is in hers, and then this will be where the pink is in hers, and then this will be where the lace panel is in hers. So hold it back up. If someone would help me, that would be most helpful. Okay, so the green, the white, the pink, and the dark under. There we go. That's my plan. So I will be making this. I just want to know if you think this should be my next cast on. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
So we have another option. And this option is also eligible for the make along with Liz, the black knitter. If you don't follow her, you should. She's awesome. This is a pattern by Sylvia Watts Cherry, who I adore, and hopefully she knows it. I don't know if I have enough yarn because I only have 2 skeins, but I'm hoping I have to make it short sleeve, which who cares? I live in Austin, who cares? But I'm thinking this yarn, this is Twisted Ambitions yarn, and so I'm thinking that. Pausing, I forgot to tell you, these 2 colors are Dystopic Fiber. I think you can get the Dystopic Fiber online, but if you're in the UK, which I know some of you are, you also can get the Dystopic Fiber at the Wool Patch. And I follow the Wool Patch, their podcast. I'll link it below. They're awesome. Hi, Stuart. Stuart knows I think he's awesome. The green is a Stranded Dyeworks. And the cream is also Stranded Dyeworks. Jude is on vacation, or if he's not, he's almost on vacation. He is going to SSK. So if you're going to be at SSK, tell Jude Valerie says hi. I wish I was going. Anyway, that's what those yarns are. So that second pattern was Sylvia Watts Cherry. Pattern name, I probably should have said, that one is Umbriel. So this is Umbriel. The first one was Vibes Tea by Tiff Neelan. They'll be linked below. My next pattern that I'm considering is something I've knit before, which is by SambaKnits. If y'all don't know, I love SambaKnits. I love her pattern so much. And I've knit this myself, and a dear friend knit it as well. Here is Verina's version, and here is my version previous. And so I love the Brahui. I love it so much. That it just flew off my needles. I've not knit a t-shirt faster ever. The lace panel that's on there is such a small repeat, and it's memorizable. So once you've done one little section, the rest of the sections you know what to do. You don't even have to look at the pattern again. And by the time you finish the whole repeat, that's like 12 rows tall, you don't have to look back at it again at all, because it's just, you know from what you just did. And so, and when you're in between, it's just knit, quick panels. Knit, quick panels. So it flew,
Finish.
It flew off my needles. So this one I'm thinking of making in this yarn. And this was a gift from Verena. And the brand is Zia Wools. And the dyer is in New Mexico, but she's originally from Germany. This is her fingering weight base. She calls it honeysuckle, the base, and the colorway is Big Sur. And I just think, and I think it would look good on me.
It would look good on you.
And so I think if I made that in the Brahui, I think I would enjoy making it. And I know I would wear it because I wear the other one I already have. So
Seber Bronny is available in Libby, but only in audiobooks. If you like audiobooks, knock yourselves out. It's available in Libby. If you like to have your own mind supply what these people's voices sound like instead of having somebody else tell you what their voices sound like,
Maybe on their local library?
you can go see if they're at your local library, see if maybe your library. I know the Houston Library. I have a library card at the Houston Library because I can't get a library card at the Austin Library because I don't live in Austin, according to Austin, even though my address says Austin. But I don't live in Houston. But you know what? During the pandemic, Houston opened up their library, their e-library, to anybody that is a resident of Texas. I'm usually not a fan of Houston, but for this particular case, Austin could take a lesson from Houston on libraries.
Okay, and then my next option is, the reason I picked it is because A, it's color work. B, it's a cardigan, which is buttoned up. C, it's knit in the round, but it's steeped. D, the yarn I want to use can be needle felted, so I can needle felt before I steek. Winner, 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 winner. And I have the right amount of yarn. So, I don't know if y'all follow Skein Deer. I just adore her. She has her own podcast. This is Ellie from Skein Deer Knits, and this is her pattern. It is called the Nordbakken. I think that's how you would say that.
Sure.
But it is a cardigan. It is 2 colors. In her case, it's red and white. And in my case, I have enough. I'm not going to hold them all up, but I have enough of Brooklyn Tweed Loft in purple to be the main color. And I have some Patagonia from Jupiter Moon that is perfect to be the color work. And if I run short, because I am like just on the edge of like having enough, which says I have enough, but if I ran short, the color work only uses a tiny portion of this, like not even 50% of this. So I could, in her sweater, I could take and put color work down at the bottom of this sweater. Sorry about the reflections. And I could put color work on the cuffs, which would then decrease the amount of the main color and use up more of the white. So that's another option, and it would give me a jacket, sort of quasi jacket for New York in case it is cooler. Just
so in case it's so cold that the warm sweater she's already making for Rhinebeck.
There's 3 days. I'm going to be there for 3 days.
Yep.
That's three different outfits.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I did not know this was a requirement.
Well, it's not a requirement, but it's fun. It's fun to make 3 different things, because then you get to wear your handmade things with people who appreciate them and talk to you about them and engage you with them, not somebody who goes, that's cute.
Yes, my love.
So, oops, I need to get the right pattern up, so sorry, bear with me. My next one is the Hydra headband. I'm thinking I might, oops, it fell down. I give up. I'll put a picture instead of putting it on there. The Hydra headband is by Fiber Tales. I love Fiber Tales. Her podcast is really good. And if I make it, I'm gonna make it in this brown. I don't have the label anymore, but this is, oh, I do, it's right here, but it's Stranded Dyeworks. I did not know it was in there. I don't need to look though, because this is her coffee. Will you double check? I'm pretty sure this is coffee.
Coffee bean. So no, it's not coffee, it's coffee
bean. But it's her brown. I love this brown. It's a perfect brown to me.
It's a good brown.
But I think it would make a really good headband, and the headband in question is cabled, and I just think it would be really nice. And I want to make this because I hate my haircut, and I need something that will keep my hair pulled back and not be in my face and irritating me, but allow my hair to grow out. And so I think that's a really good plan. So this could very well be the first thing I cast on, just because I want something to keep my hair back. And then,
speaking of cables, I friended our friend Enid on Facebook, and by doing that, I got to see all of the cool stuff that Enid has made. And she's got this, it looks like granny squares that are cabled, but you connect the granny squares together, and the cable keeps rolling through all the granny squares. Pretty cool. I liked it. But
she's pretty awesome.
Your thing about cables reminded me of Enid's cables.
And then this next pattern is more, well, there's 3 reasons why it's appealing to me.
Oh, yeah?
Reason number 1 is I got these yarns at the retreat, and I love them, but they're not enough for a sweater of any kind. But I feel like they really should go together. I think that this is an excellent combination of color.
Yeah, I like it.
And so I found a hat that uses this yarn, which I think is cool. I'm not sure it's the exact same colors that was used, but it's really close. Down here, though, I would be using this color, and then for the blue or light gray, I would use the blue, and then for the tan in the background, I would use this, and then for the top, I would use this. And so I'm thinking about making this hat, partly because I really love these yarns, and because Needles at the Ready currently is doing their Let's Hear It for the Boys make along. So in order to do the Let's Hear It for the Boys, you either need to make something for a man, or you need to make something that was designed by a male, or the yarn was dyed by a male. And in which case, the yarn is not dyed. It would not be for a male unless you wanted it, which I can't see you ever wanting that hat because it's blue and it's all kind of design on it, and that's just not you.
No.
And you already have your red hats that you like so much.
I got my blue hat, I got my red hat, and I got that brown hat that's not really my hat, but I still wear it.
Yeah. So, but
my red hat's my favorite.
It would also, it was designed by Maxim Sear, who is a man, so that meets the requirements. And so, but to be honest, I think I might hold off on the hat until later, because I don't see me needing or wanting to wear a hat at Rhinebeck. I'm listening.
You don't need a hat. You got hats all over the place. You got hats coming out your ears. We gave away hats.
Yes, I know. Anyway, so
we give away a lot of stuff because
there's only so much I can keep. Anyway, so I think right now I would like your input. Which of these patterns appeals to you? I will do another last, like maybe we'll do an A, B, C, D, E, whatever. And to make it fun, whoever answers, I'm trying to think. I want to get, like, should maybe give them a pattern up to $6 US. What?
Bribing people?
I'm not bribing, but I'm just saying,
sounds like bribery to me.
I'm trying to encourage them.
Bribery. I'm trying to encourage people by enticing them with free shit.
Well, it happens. Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Yes, dear.
Well, we don't have to. I just think that would be fun. And
Yep.
I would like your help, but if you just want to say hi or you want to talk to Jim about something.
Y'all are always encouraged to send us whatever you would like to say.
We do like comments, I must say. It brings us both joy when we get a comment, even if the comment is good to see you or hi or whatever. But
if they are specifically addressed at me, I answer them. If they are not, well,
you still read them.
I read them, but
sometimes you reply to them anyway, and sometimes you don't.
Sometimes. I usually like them.
Yeah, I always like them. I try to reply to everyone. If I miss something, it's not on purpose. But anyway, that's all my knitting.
The only TV we watched was Star Trek. Strange New Worlds, because it comes out on Thursdays, but she's got a Zoom on Thursday, so we generally watch it on Friday, and if not on Friday, then we'll watch it on Saturday. Strange New World is about the Starship Enterprise, but it has Captain Pike, the original captain, who was the captain of the Enterprise in the Star Trek pilot. And he was replaced by James Tiberius Kirk. One of my more favorite Star Treks. It's a very interesting one. I don't recommend jumping into the middle. If you want to check it out, it's on Paramount Plus.
I still think they should see. Is it Discovery?
Discovery is good.
Which one started him?
Discovery.
Yeah.
He was on Discovery, and then Discovery jettisoned themselves into the future.
I feel like Discovery is kind of important to understand.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to go back and watch from the very first Star Trek ever in order to follow along. But I think you'll understand a whole lot more about Strange New Worlds if you do watch Discovery first. You don't have to. I mean, it's not like you can't. You can watch one episode of Star Trek and it's not required to know what happened previously to understand this one. But I do think you get more out of it if you've watched the others.
You won't really know what's going on with the full story arc.
Right.
Because
I think you gain something, but it's not like you can't watch it. The same is true with Doctor Who. You can watch an episode of Doctor Who all by itself and never watch another one and not. As long as it's not a continuing,
that just depends on which era of Doctor Who, because.
But even if
the Tom Baker Doctor Who's the entire season was a story arc, so you watch just one episode, then you only got a piece of.
So then I'm just
story.
So then starting with the newest one with what's his name? Eccleston. I think that you could watch any one of those as a standalone episode, as long as it's not one that says to be continued, which there are a few. As long as it's not one of those, you could totally watch it as a standalone show and not be confused. Well, okay, be confused just because everyone else is confused over what's going on and who did it and who done it and those kind of confused, but not who is this person and why are we watching this show, kind of.
It's on Paramount Plus, which, once again, Paramount Plus is free. If you have Walmart Plus, which is $98 a year, get 10 cents a gallon off your gas, free delivery on your groceries over $35.
And no, we are not associated with Walmart in any way, shape, or form.
Free shipping on all of your orders. So if you order non-perishable items and choose to have them shipped, you do not have to pay to have them shipped, and Walmart will probably have them delivered to you because it's cheaper than having them shipped. Although today they did ship me 3 packages of cookies and a thing of licorice, and then they had somebody else drive over and drop off another thing of cookies. I don't see how that's practical, but it's not my problem. I got my cookies. I got my licorice. I'm happy.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, I want to talk about Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
So Barbara is the host of Flame and Fiber podcast. She hasn't done any here's what I'm making podcast in a really long time. However, she started doing a daily vlog when we went into lockdown in March 3 years ago. And she still does one, and I love them. And it's like having a cup of coffee with a friend, and it's just awesome. Anyway, yesterday...
Good morning, it's Barbara.
Yep.
That's how they all start.
And yesterday morning, she said that in February, Susan had suggested for her pain in her arm that she considered getting some KT tape. Whatever.
It is
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology therapeutic tape. KT tape.
So, that's the box, and here's the tape. It looks like this. It comes in segments, and you can use half a segment or a full segment, depending on the usage. The website for the brand, KT brand, has videos for a lot of different points on your body that are in pain, and where to put the tape, and how to apply the tape for that particular pain point.
Some of them require assistance. If you are trying to tape your shoulder and you don't have a friend or a spouse who can do that for you, just learn to deal with the pain, because you can't use this.
You'd have to find some help.
Because there is no, I can't reach.
You can't.
If your shoulder hurts, you can't reach where you have to put the tape for your shoulder.
Even if your shoulder didn't hurt, you couldn't, because it's pretty, you have to go from the spine all the way up. Anyway, there's videos. But I want to say thank you to Susan, and I want to say thank you to Barbara, because we got the tape yesterday, and I think y'all know I have been struggling ever since I fell at the retreat with my knee. Just getting up, I can't hardly stand up on my own 2 feet because the pain is excruciating. I can't sit in the same position for very long. The pain is unbearable. And we put the tape on yesterday approximately 6 p.m., 7 p.m., no later than that.
Something like that.
Yours might have went on later, but I put it on my knee pretty early comparative. We didn't even get it until yesterday evening, around 6, 5, somewhere in there. But, so, we followed the videos. I put the tape on, and the discomfort went away. Not right away, not like instantaneously. And the thing is that I could sit for a while without being in pain, but eventually, being in the same position, my knee would get very uncomfortable, which my right leg is doing right now. But it didn't do it yesterday. I sat and we watched Star Trek. No.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Yep.
And it didn't hurt, and then he played some games, and it didn't hurt, and I just kept sitting there and knitting and being in the same room. We ended up I watched Needles at the Ready in here, sitting, being in the same space, and I was fine. I could when I went to get up, TMI, but I would get up and go, oh crap, or oh holy hell, or oh my god, or all kinds of really bad words, because I couldn't keep my feet underneath me, and I was afraid I was going to land on my ass because my knee did not want to hold my weight. And it would take 4 or 5 steps before my knee stopped screaming so loud that I thought I was gonna fall on my backside. And last night it didn't do it.
No.
And so then we hit the tape on his shoulder and his lower back. And his shoulder has been in so much pain where just sitting at his desk, he would move wrong and be in some pretty severe pain.
I didn't have to move wrong. I just had to breathe. I just had to exist.
And he did not have the same issue sleeping last night, or at least this morning when I had seen him. He slept much better, I think, than you have in a long time.
I think so too.
And so I don't know how long this stuff has been around, but I will say that if you're suffering, consider it. The good part is that it's actually making me more mobile to where I want to move more. I want to walk more because I'm not in excruciating pain. So there's your good news for the week. I do want to talk about just a few minutes on some ways to get involved. Coming up this fall for sure, I plan on making either some hats, some mittens, maybe some socks. I don't know. But I'm going to send some things to Knit the Rainbow this year. And I think when I send them, I'm probably going to put notes with them and pin them. Maybe have Jim help me with the notes. They give these handmade items to homeless LGBTQ youth who have been displaced because their family basically shut them out and because of who they are. And so I just think it would be cool to have a Nana and a Papa send them some stuff and say, hey, here's a Nana and a Papa that think you're pretty awesome just the way you are. And so that's my goal for this fall. And might switch up and do a make along and have that be it. Make things for, doesn't have to be for Knit the Rainbow, just has to be make things for any local charity or any charity where you're doing something for someone else.
That'd be cool. Now, the KT tape was invented by Dr. Kenzo Case, a Japanese chiropractor who created the tape in the late 1970s as an alternative for the stiff tape that athletes use so he could keep his patient's joints in the correct position. So, this tape was created by a Japanese chiropractor.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kenzo Case, for improving my ability to survive.
So, about 50 years ago. So, this tape's been around for a day or two. We just discovered it, which means that, you know...
Yeah, how many doctors didn't tell us about it that could have? I'm sorry,
none.
I'm just saying how many didn't that could have. Lots of doctors could have.
You have to wonder if they actually know about it because it's not... if it was made by a chiropractor, it's not mainstream.
Yeah, but...
50 years, I would think that somebody would be teaching this in school by now.
You'd think.
But, you know... If they can't make money off from it, they may not be interested in telling you about it.
True. So, podcast recommendations, because I want to try and do that. Maybe Jim can next time bring some that are not yarny related, because I know he watches some. He watched a really cool one that was all about. He watched a channel. What was that all about? It was about.
It was a video from India. About how they make non-stick pots and pans that are being sold in America, but they're being made in India. And, you know, India understands something that America forgot. People need jobs. And you can make a whole bunch of machines that can press out all this shit. And all these people who used to do those jobs are now unemployed. And now you have to figure out how to take care of these unemployed people because they got no jobs because you replaced their job with the machine. In India, there are machines being used because it is using aluminum. And they take all this aluminum scrap and they put it into a smelter and they smelt it. And then they take this liquid aluminum and they pour it into little frames and they make little aluminum disc. And then they go and they press those little aluminum disc out. And it goes you from scrap aluminum to non-stick cookware.
It was really cool to watch, I must say.
It has really machines involved, but they are
a lot of labor.
They are presses and lathes. And they aren't lathes that do it themselves. It's a lathe where a guy pushes this pan on, puts his knee against it to hold it in place, and then so he's got this freaking pan that he's making for you, holding it with his knee, and it's going 5,000 RPM so he can shave off. That dude's got to have a callus on his knee that you can't crack with a walnut cutter.
It was definitely intense and a lot. It was interesting,
but it was a lot of hands-on manual labor. They might be using machines, but it was still a human.
Well, you have to find the channel and try to put it down below, and then
go look at me on Facebook. You'll probably see it. I probably shared it. I share lots of stuff on Facebook.
You've never told them what your Facebook. How to find you on Facebook.
Look for James Fisher on Facebook. You'll find me.
There's no other James Fisher on the Facebook?
I don't know.
Have you looked?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't look for me. Oh, look at myself. Look at that me. No. Why would I look me up on Facebook? Hey, can I make myself my phone friend?
I think on Instagram he's Fishing Cowboy, FSHNCOWBOY, but I'm not certain.
More than likely. That's what I use. That's me. Some people thought that was Fashion
Creations
Cowboy.
by Valerie on Instagram. I'll try and put them on the screen. I'm not real good at that, but feel free to follow us. Not that it's that exciting.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm not Fashion Cowboy. Everybody dresses and makes a fashion statement. Mine is I don't care. You look at me and go, oh, look, he looks like a gnome. Yeah. Have you ever had a gnome flip you off? Well, here's one for you. Here you go. Because when I'm wearing my red shirt and my short blue shorts, my regular blue shorts, and my compression socks, my white beard, which is trimmed up so it's not so long. But when it's long, people look at me and go, oh, look, it's a big fat gnome. Have you ever had a 6 foot tall gnome kick you in the ass? New experience.
Anyway, other podcasts you probably already, if you're following me, you know, Gary Knits, Gary Rides. Also, it'll be down there. Laura Nilkin already talked about her.
And we talked about Barbara Flamin' Fiber. What about Aquilla? Does Aquilla do a cast? Doesn't she do something?
Aquilla is hers is the Lefty Knitter.
Lefty Knitter. And Lesley.
Yep, that would be Not Quite Enough Distance. Nope, that's her.
Not Quite Enough Yarn.
That's her. Not Quite Enough Yarn. Not Quite Enough Distance was her daily vlog in the beginning of the lockdown.
She doesn't do dailies anymore. She does a Friday.
I don't care.
And you get to find out how she's done for the week on Friday.
Yeah.
And then she does an end of the month.
Yes, her end of the month is really good.
It's supposed to. She should have already done it.
I already watched it.
You already watched it? I missed it? Well, that's bullshit.
And then, there's 2 girls from, North Carolina. I think it's North Carolina. I don't think it's South Carolina, but it could be South Carolina. I will link them below. I really love their podcast. I'll put the link in with all the other podcasts, and I'll put it on the screen here, maybe too. But I really, really like them. Right now they're on vacation. I can't wait for them to come back. And then Also, Edible Thoughts makes. I really, really like Edible Thought makes. I really appreciate the detail that she shares in her projects. I need to be way better at the details in mine. Like on this, my gauge, I didn't say. Right now I have a gauge of 15 stitches per inch, which I didn't have in the beginning. I'm on a 10.5 needle, and I use Chalgum needles always. Pretty much, if I'm not using a Chalgum needle, I will tell you, because it will be life, like it'll be noteworthy, basically, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would.
I can't think of anything else.
Okay, I was looking for the other thing, but I remembered this guy, and it's important that I wanted you to see this. Wu Dang Zedong.
I've been following him, and I've been following his videos in the mornings when he's sleeping.
He does Tai Chi, but he does a lot of other stuff, and I would recommend you just go check him out, see what he's got. Might have something that interests you. If you have any part of your body that is achy, shitty, bad, go check him out, because he probably has some kind of exercise that you can rotate this to do that and make it feel better. You never know.
It's working for me.
Wudang Zedong, Wudang space Zidong.
And I haven't seen him on YouTube, but I know he has a channel or a thing on YouTube, on Facebook, and I watch his videos on Facebook. But
yeah, he actually sends stuff to me. So,
but I really, really like watching his videos. I am going to be putting up videos from time to time that are tutorials. Not because I think y'all need them. No, you don't have to watch them. With my new job, which I love, by the way, I keep forgetting to tell y'all, I do love my new job. But with my new job, sometimes the questions that they ask are just way easier to answer in video format than they are in Word. And so I've done a couple already.
Just while I got it here, that's an old Navy buddy of mine, Joe Romley, and that's him with the fish that he just caught. Way to go, Joe. Anyway, sorry.
It's okay. I'm glad you're happy.
No, I'm still trying to find that video.
It's okay. Anyhow, I'm trying to remember to keep them, like, not public, but if I forget, they may end up saying thank you for choosing Yarn Inspirations, which is the company I work for now. And so just, I'm sorry. If there is a tutorial that you need or something that you want me to show you, let me just put it in the comments, and when I have time, I will record it for you. I don't know where he's going, so we're going to close it down.
Okay, no, I am no longer confused. I became confused when I heard the word service used by these agencies. Revenue Canada Service, Canada Postal Service, Telephone Service, Civil Service, Provincial, Municipal, City, and Public Service. This is not what I thought service meant, but today I overheard two farmers talking, and one of them said he had hired a bull to service a few cows. Bam! It all came into focus. That's good.
That's a good way to end it.
That's all, folks.
Have a great
Bye,
day.
Mom. I love you.